Good morning, everyone. It's Brenda Quintana here, and I am live with you this morning to share with you a card that we've done a makeover from the holiday catalog. But I haven't done a holiday card. I wrote in my blog post last night that this is really kind of an awkward time of year because a lot of us have already finished our holiday crafting, and except maybe for some last minute holiday crafting. So I didn't want to do a card with a lot of holiday products. So I thought, let me do something in between card. Right now we are gearing up for the new mini catalog that's starting in January, but no one can buy from it yet except if you are a demonstrator. You can definitely pre-order from the catalog, but if you're a customer, you cannot get the new catalog product yet. So I thought, let's do some annual catalog stuff. And good morning, Karen. And so just for a little change up. While we wait for a few more of you to get on here, I just wanted to tell you my son got home on Saturday, and right now he's out there cleaning off the car. He's heading over to his old high school today to talk to his old TV and media production class for today. So he's gonna have some fun over there. And I've been trying to, I asked him if he would like to join me on a Casing Tuesday. So I might be able to cajole him into coming and helping me out next week. So that will be kind of fun. That will be Christmas Eve. And I know a lot of you will be busy doing stuff, but I'm going to see if he would like to create a card with me, like separate, like just show everyone how easy Casing Tuesday is, because we have the blueprint of a card to work from. And so we'll see if he wants to join me. I hope he will, because that will be kind of fun, because I've been talking about him a lot. Yeah. But anyway, so today's card is from the holiday catalog, but I'm not going to be making a holiday card, but I'm going to show you what the card is. So it's this Peace on Earth card. And what I love about this card, it's such an easy layout. Oh my gosh, I love this layout. It's a nice little square in the center. You could do a greeting, you can do an image, and it's just easy peasy. And then you've got your little strip of cardstock in the background. I love this layout. This is a perfect layout to try for a beginner, and it's perfect for me this time of year because it is fast layout. So let me just show you. Let me show you. Oop. Okay, let me get rid of that. So here is the layout. And we do 4¼ by 5½ card fronts. So it's a half a sheet of cardstock, and then it's either folded or scored in half. So that's our typical card. And then the layers are just really easy. And those are the measurements. And I went up just a little bit in the square. I did a 2¾ inch square instead of a 2 5/8 inch square, just because I wanted to fit a little bit more on my square. So you can fudge a little bit with the measurements and just use them as a little guide for when you're doing stuff. So, um, uh, thank you, Karen. It's so nice to have Nicholas back home, and he's been great. We've had such a good time. We've been baking, and we got Christmas lights put up outside, and I still don't have my Christmas tree up. But this week we're kind of working through things. He helped me. I also sent out a bunch of Christmas cards for family and friends, and he helped me stuff those envelopes. And so he's been helping me like knock off that Christmas list of all the things that I haven't been able to do. And it's so much fun when you can share it with someone. Like usually it's me doing everything alone, and now because he doesn't have he's done his exams, so he can just spend time helping me. And of course he's doing things with friends too, but at night he's been kind of hanging here, and not all of his friends are back from their respective colleges yet, so I still get still get some time with him. And it's kind of like the first week he's here. So it's probably the best week because he isn't sick of us yet. And so it's kind of cool. Oh, and I have to like look at my sweater. This is like an old school, old sweater that I have. This is from the 80s. Okay, that's how old it is. I bought it in Germany in the 80s, and it's a wool blend sweater, and it is cold here today. So I was like, oh, and I was gonna take it off before my live, but it's still not, I still haven't warmed up after my walk. So I'm wearing my, the sweaters in the 80s were very bulky, but it's like perfect for putting under a winter jacket because it's so nice and warm. So anyway, I just love this old sweater. I don't have too many things that I've kept for that long, but I was just like, yay, this is my old sweater. Okay, you probably didn't even care about that. But I'm going to switch cameras now. Let me find my other camera. Let's see. It is right here. There we go. Okay, so I showed you the original card, and this is the card that I made. Now, you probably recognize, if you know Stampin' Up! Products at all, you might recognize this stamp. This is called Magnolia Blooms, but it is not in the annual catalog. It is in this beginner brochure that we got a few months ago. And what I like about this is it has a couple of things out of the annual catalog, but it has some exclusive stamp sets that are only available in this brochure. Now, it is all available in the online store, but you won't find it in the annual catalog. And this is a sweet little stamp set. And I'll tell you why, because it is cheap. If you're in the US, this stamp set is only $14. And it matches a bigger stamp set in the annual catalog. But I liked the big stamp set, but I wasn't sure how much I would use it. But I love this little one because it's got one big bloom, one little bloom, a little leaf, and it's got 3 greetings that I use a lot. Happy birthday, thank you, and congratulations. Perfect. And that big stamp set doesn't have a happy birthday in it. So I love this. Makes card making really easy. So look at that. I just am so happy with that. And this is the stamp set here. Let me show you real quick though. This is the big stamp set in the annual catalog right here. And it's got a much bigger bloom. So like comparison's sake, the bloom is a lot bigger. But we don't have a happy birthday in this particular one. The big set has a matching die set that you can buy the 2 together as a bundle. But this one is far more expensive. So this is someone, this stamp set in this bundle is definitely for someone that is like more of an avid crafter, someone that has been stamping for a while, because there are a lot more components to it. It is a beautiful stamp set and beautiful bundle, but I didn't want to get it. And I was so thrilled when they had a smaller little version of it. And if I want to, I can always fussy cut out this bloom and use it, pop it up and stuff. But I just wanted to share that with you. If you have the annual catalog, it's on page 38 for this bigger set. And this set is called Good Morning Magnolia. All right, and it has matching paper, and this paper is gorgeous. It's called Magnolia Lane. Let me find the opening. And I used only one of the patterns. It's a double-sided pattern. So I used this one with this on one side and the stripes on the other. So I was able to kind of cut it up and use it in a nice little way so that I could kind of flip the back side on that. And then it's just gorgeous paper. It's all in mossy meadow and petal pink, and it's just really pretty. So anyway, that's the paper I used, and I think you could switch out the paper and use it for a you know, if you didn't want the stripes, you could do like one of the green patterns in the background. So there's many different ways that you could use that paper. So let me show you how I made my card. So I started off with a 2 3/4 inch square and my Memento ink. And I've got my flower here on a D block. So I'll just ink this up. Want to make sure that you get a good solid inking. And then I want to stamp this down into the corner as far as it will go. Okay. And then I've got my happy birthday. This is a C block, but you could have one D block and just switch out the happy birthday and put it on there. But I put this one on a C block, and I'm just going to scoot that greeting up at the top just above the flower like that. So isn't that perfect? You know, I get the greeting and the image all on one little square. And then we're going to color it. So we'll use some Stampin' blends. I'm using the Petal Pink Light and Dark, So Saffron Dark, and Mossy Meadow Light. So I'll start off with my Petal Pink Light, and what I'm going to do, I'm just going to use the brush tip and use it on its side so I don't break down the tip, and I'm just going to brush on Petal Pink Light over the entire surface of the flower. I'm being very boring in my coloring. I know there are people that spend a lot of time doing very elaborate coloring jobs, but this stamp is nice and easy to color. It's already got shading on the stamp itself, so you can just follow the shading. So the first thing I want to do is just cover the entire thing with Petal Pink. Okay. And then I'll come in with my dark, also using the brush tip, and I'm going to follow the lines, and I'm going to follow the outside of each of the petals. So I'm kind of just going over the shaded areas and deepening and darkening all of those. And then the lighter shade just kind of peeks out underneath. I'm keeping it fairly simple, but it still looks pretty good once you're done. Okay, so that is how I did just the petals. Then I came in with my So Saffron Dark and just hit the inside part of the flower. And then I'll take my Mossy Meadow Light, brush tip as well. If you're careful, you can use the brush tip. If not, use the bullet tip. And I'll just hit the leaves. I'm not going to do any shading on the leaves. They are very small, so it's harder to do like shading and different things when you have like a very small area. But there is how I did the flower. And I also wanted to show you, I'm going to move my phone out of my room for a second. All right, sorry about that. Here we go. I'm hiding my phone in the other room. Sorry. I wanted to show you also how you could do the same card and use thank you instead. So this one right here, I did the same thing. I just cut this square to 2 5/8 inches. So this one's 2 5/8 by 2 5/8. It's a little smaller because the greeting thank you is a little smaller. I still stamped the bloom down in the corner, but the thank you doesn't take up as much territory, so I don't need a full 2 3/4. So you could do the same card as a thank you card. All right, let's get the card assembled. So we're going to start off with a card base, and this is just a half sheet of cardstock. It measures 8.5 by 5.5. I scored it in half and then I folded it in half. Then I took a piece of that Magnolia Lane Designer Series paper. This piece is 5.5 by 4.25 inches. And by the way, if you miss any of these measurements, I have the link to my blog. Yes, I do. I added it this morning when I did the announcement for the live. I'm just going to take some glue. So you can go and grab the measurements. Also on my blog is a complete supply list. So you can go there and just check it out and just click on the products to see more about the product, the price of the product, and then you can buy the product if you want. Oh, and today, if you haven't already checked it out, the clearance rack has been updated by Stampin' Up. And there's a lot of cool things on there. There's cardstock, paper, dies. Oh, there's the little old wooden crate dies, and there's that little hexagon box. So there's a lot of cool things on there. So go check it out if you're heading to the store at all today. Yeah. Okay, so I've got this base done, and then I'm going to take a piece of basic black cardstock. This is 5.5 by 1 3/8, and then I'm going to take the back of this paper here. This strip of paper I cut to 5.5 by 1 1/4. And what I like to do, you could take a really skinny piece of basic black and butt it up against your Magnolia Lane piece. But what I find is easier is if you cut the basic black piece just a bit bigger than this piece, then you've got the perfect little peek out on the bottom, and you don't have to mess with trying to get everything just right and butt it up against it or try to glue the little strip underneath. It's just really easy because now all I have to do is glue this piece right on top of my black piece. And it's still a very small piece of basic black, so I don't feel like I'm, wasting a ton of cardstock when I do this. If you're very conscious of cardstock, then yeah, maybe you'll want a smaller piece, but this kind of it makes it very easy. Now I know that there's going to be 1/8 of an inch peeking out at the bottom. That kind of just frames the bottom. And then I'll take this and just add it. I'm doing about maybe an inch, around an inch from the bottom. And then I'll just smooth that down. Okay, and then I'll take some baker's twine, and this is just the Whisper White baker's twine. This is just one of those basic things that you should have in your craft room because white matches almost anything, and it's just easy to add to a card. It doesn't steal the thunder of a card. So this is what I did. I took a little bit extra on the side because I know I want to tie a bow. So I'm just going to take this and I'm going to make sure it's pretty solid right up against the edge of my designer series paper, and then I'm just going to clamp it with my locking tweezers because I'm going to tie this into a knot. Just a little trick because see, I want to add this piece on here and I want to have that knot right up against here, but it's kind of hard to judge that ahead of time. So what I'm doing is I'm tying the knot and then I can slide it over to where I need it. So I'm just trying to eyeball here where I'm going to put the flower, and then that knot is just right there perfectly. So now let me add my little flower piece. So I'll use some dimensionals for that. I'll do one in each corner. I love this card. It is just, it's so pretty and it's not hard, right? And people that don't stamp will think this card is awesome, that you spent a lot of time on it, but it really, it's an easy card. Okay. I've got all those little backings removed, and then I just need to position this so I like it and so it's straight. Okay, pat it down, and then I can take this, cut off the end here, and now I can go ahead and tie my bow here. And what I did, I don't always do this, but I kind of did a double knot on my, I took the two ends of my, the two loops of my bow, and I double knotted them. Come on out. Uh-oh. I did it really easily last night. This morning it's like not happening. Okay, let's see. Come on. All right. So now I know that my bow is not going to come untied. It's a little bit bigger of a knot. Let's see how, just arranging this just a bit. There we go. Make sure the loops aren't twisted. Okay, and then I can take my ends and give them a little snip. And there is my card. And maybe I should have done it with a different paper out of the paper, Magnolia Lane paper, so I could show you how pretty it is. Oh, I did one more thing that I forgot to tell you about. Wink of Stella. Wink of Stella is great because it adds just a little bit of shimmer to your card. So I'm just going to add just over the flower. And this, it's not going to show up really well on the camera today. So this is just for the recipient of this card is going to get it. And when they open it up and it catches the light, that little bloom is going to shimmer and sparkle. When I did this yesterday, I took it over to the window to make sure I had gotten adequate coverage with the little Wink of Stella. You cannot see that on the camera, unfortunately, but when the person gets it, that's the thing that is going to really pop that bloom just a little bit and make it a little bit special. Oh, for the inside, I didn't cut an inside piece, but I'm just going to show you what I did for the inside. So for the inside, I kept it really simple. I cut this piece to 5 inches by 3 3/4 inches. This is just a piece of Whisper White. And then I took this bloom, and you could stamp it in the black as well, but I happen to have the petal pink on hand. So I thought just kind of as a subtle little tribute, I would stamp the petal pink bloom down here at the bottom. So that just kind of finishes off the card and makes it look nice. And then it's ready to be, you know, sent out to someone for their birthday. And so there's the card. So isn't that kind of cool? We took a very Christmassy card. Let me see if I can pull it up. We took a very Christmassy card. There's the Christmassy card. And we turned it into this card right here. Let's see if I can bring this up to the camera a bit. So let's do this. See, there's the original, and there's my card. If you saw these two cards, you would never think, oh, that's the same card. But guess what? It has the same basic layout. And how fun is that, right? You can take that layout and make it into something else. And really, that is what Casing Tuesday, that is what Casing Tuesday is all about. It is about taking a card, saving yourself a little time, and using that layout or using the colors or using something of the bones of the card and using it to be creative. It took me last night, I don't even know, that card was done in less than half an hour, the whole design process and everything. I don't know, it might have even taken me 15 minutes because it was such a great layout. So it's just a quick way to get stuff done. Sometimes we need to make a quick birthday card and we're like, oh my gosh, I need to send out a birthday card. They know I'm a card maker. I don't want to disappoint, but I don't have the time to design from scratch. So then you end up sending out that birthday card late because you had to spend extra time instead of just going to the catalog and looking at a layout that might work for the stamp that you have. And that's kind of the idea behind Casing Tuesday, is that you do have a starting point. You don't have to start from scratch every time. This is the one thing that I'm very dedicated to every single week because it is easy. So let me just go look through. Karen says she loves my sweater. Thank you. I kind of promoted my sweater, and it's just like, you know, you have the old sweater that you have. Like, I try to like pass on my clothes. I don't keep clothes. I always donate clothes as time goes on. But there's a few things from my past that I've kept that I love, that have survived two big, probably more than two big moves. Gosh, I've lived in a few little places, you know, so it's hard when you move. You start to like not. It's not that I don't care about things. It's that the process of moving is so overwhelming, especially if it's a long distance move, that after a while you're like, I don't need all this stuff. So every time I move, I look at my stuff differently and I say, hey, am I really using this? Because if I'm not, I don't want to move it. You know, it gets really overwhelming quick. So yeah, I tend not to have the same attachment to certain things that maybe other people have if they can stay in their same place all their life. Wow, that would be such a cool thing. Dreams. I'd love to stay in a place for a longer length of time, but not right now. I don't know. We're in the process of looking for a new place. I don't know that we're gonna move right away. We're not moving out of the area. We're just we're renting our house right now. So, and we don't need to be in this school district anymore. So we're looking. But Boston market is crazy. So I don't know how long that's gonna take us. So it might take us a few years. All right. Boy, I'm a little chatterbox today. Okay, let me close this out. So go check out the clearance sale. Remember, I always have a special if you use the coupon code and you spend $75 in a month. So you can definitely participate in that. And all the links for anything you need. Join our Facebook group. Join our Casing Tuesday Facebook group. It's really easy. Just go to the link below. I approved 18 people this morning. Oh my gosh. I got up there to post my card and I saw 18 people. Wow. And I approved all of you this morning. And so it's really easy. And then join us. Show us what you can make, because we'll comment on your card, and we'd love to see what everyone does with the current layout. All right, guys. Well, I hope I can get my son to join me next week. That will be really fun if I can get him to do that. And if not, I hope all your holiday preparations are going well. And I will see you next week. Bye-bye.